Hello, everyone. My name is Coach Simmons, Coach Brandon Simmons, and I'm the offensive coordinator at Southeast Raleigh High School. Today's topic, we're going to touch on the old school power I. Okay. So in this sub package, just again, this is a sub package of our offense. It really boils down to four core runs. We have power O, we have counter, we have ISO, we have toss, and then for the passing game, power pass, waggle, and slant. Now, I will say that this does change from year to year. I mean, some years you might have a plethora of running backs and no tight ends, but some seasons you might have some tight ends and not a lot of running backs. So this package here is completely adjusted based off of the personnel, including the run scheme. Okay, so the first run scheme I'm gonna touch on is power O. Okay, so this right here is old school power O. And make no mistake, in this diagram and in some of the video clips, our quarterback is in the pistol alignment. However, there are a number of different times where he prefers to line up under center, and nothing really changes in the back end. Okay, so old school rules here. Again, the traditional way this was taught to me. We had a tight end here, but we had a passing threat on the outside with two passing threats outside, so we flexed them out, and that didn't change anything as well. Okay, but blocking rules. So play side tackle and the play side guard are responsible for comboing. The first immediate threat of the tackle, they're going to combo back. Okay. Um, Center responsible for blocking back on the A gap. Backside guard is responsible for skip pulling for play side linebacker, and the backside tackle is responsible for sealing off B gap and willing to C gap. Okay. The Y in this picture here, he's a bonus player. He's responsible for blocking down, okay, gap down backer, okay, which means that I'm responsible for blocking back on a gap. And if there's no one there, I'm working to the backer. Okay, the T in this formation is responsible for kicking out the end man on the line of scrimmage. We coach our T's to attack the line of scrimmage very, very fast, but under control. And they're responsible for, kicking out the end man on the line of scrimmage. We also communicate, hey, you him out. Okay. On the H, he's responsible for, rocker step. All right. And the quarterback will receive the handoff and hand it off to the H. Okay. We coach our running backs to hit A gap first. Okay. ABC. So the goal here is to hit A gap. And if our running back doesn't see daylight there, he can then bounce it to B gap. And if these things get washed down, okay, he does have the green light to hit C gap. Okay. The quarterback is responsible for handing the ball off to the H. And after he hands the ball off to the H, he is going to waggle away. And as he waggle away, coaches and the quarterback is keeping their eyes on the backside of the defense. Okay. The X and the Z receiver are responsible for stalking. Sometimes we do tag our receivers to do a little bit more, but more often than not, they're responsible for stalking. Okay. All right. Run number 2, counter. Okay. So blocking rules for the counter. Okay. We have our play side tackle. He is responsible for helping the play side guard to combo to a linebacker. Okay. The center is responsible for blocking back. Okay. The guard, okay, the backside guard, he's responsible for trap pulling the end man on line of scrimmage. And the backside tackle is responsible for cutting off the B gap, willing the C gap. Okay. In this picture, okay, in this diagram, and the way this is ran, we have 2 additional pullers. Okay. Some coaches call it super counter, right? Sometimes we'll pull one puller. Okay. But in this diagram here, the way we run this, the Y and the T are going to pull. Okay. Whoever gets there first, they're responsible for the play side backer, and whoever gets there second is responsible for adjusting. Okay. The quarterback is coached in this diagram. The quarterback is coached to open up opposite the play call, hand the ball to the H. He's also responsible for, getting off the midline. Okay. The H is responsible for receiving a handoff, pressing it play side, and then bending the play back. And again, his rule is still the same. A gap, B gap, sometimes C gap. Our X and Z receiver, they're responsible for stalking, but they're also alert to pre-snap tags. Okay. ISO. Okay, so for ISO, blocking rules. Okay, so for us, ISO is basically duo. We just ask our play side tackle to kick out. Okay, all right, but rules. Um, our tackle is responsible for blocking the backside gap first. Okay, alert to the front side. Okay, so backside tackle, he's going to kick out an end man in this diagram. Our backside guard and center is responsible for comboing the one to the linebacker. The play side guard, he's responsible for kicking out the three. Okay, and our play side tackle, he's responsible for kicking out the five. Okay, again, we have bonus players here in this diagram. Okay, our Y is responsible for finding work and getting in on a linebacker. Okay, and we coach our Y to cheat for success. Okay, so in this diagram here, our Y, if he feels like he needs to cheat more on the outside leg of the guard to find work, then so be it. Okay, but cheat for success to get in on the linebacker. Okay, the T is also responsible for getting in on the linebacker. The H, he is going to use the same footwork as power O. Okay, so a little rocker step, receive a handoff. He's going to press A gap to B gap. Okay, the quarterback, after he hands the ball off, he is going to waggle away. Okay, our X and our Z, they're responsible for stalking defensive backs. Okay, sometimes we do ask our outside receivers to find. We do ask our outside receivers to block safeties instead of corners. Okay. All right. The next run play we have and the final run play that we have in this package is toss. Okay. So this right here is just old school toss sweep. Okay. So play side tackle, he is responsible for reaching his play side gap. In this picture here, his goal is to try to hook the five. Okay. Well, guess what? He also has a help player. He has the Y. Okay. So the Y is responsible for helping the tackle to reach the edge. Okay. And once that happens, he's finding work inside out. Okay. Guard, he is play side guard is responsible for, chipping. Okay. And working up to the linebacker. Okay. The center is responsible for trying to reach the three with the guard's help, with the play side guard's help. The backside guard is responsible for running his path and working to the linebacker. Okay. He's also going to help the backside tackle. Okay. And then lastly, the backside tackle, his ultimate goal is to try to reach this shade. Okay. Most offensive line coaches and most coaches know that is a very difficult block. However, with the help of the guard, at times it is very much possible. Okay. The T, okay, he's a bonus player. Okay. When the ball snaps, he's attacking the perimeter. Okay. And his goal is to find work. Okay. He will help the Y in some instances, but most importantly, he is responsible for the alley defender. Okay. And then our H, okay, we ask our H to attack C gap. Okay, get wide. Okay. And once he receives the pitch, circle the defense. Okay. We do coach our quarterback to toss wide to the C gap. Okay, because what usually happens here is quarterbacks toss the ball back and the H is off track, and the H then has to make up so much ground just to get to his landmark. Okay. So on this play here, the quarterback is responsible for receiving the snap, pitching the H wide, and asking the Y to circle the defense. Okay. Now, if we decide to move our quarterback under center, well, guess what? The only person that changes is the quarterback. Okay. So if the quarterback is under center, we ask our quarterback to reverse out and pitch the ball wide. And after he pitched the ball, waggle away. Okay. Our X and our Z, they're responsible for stalk blocking. Okay. But they're also they're also going to be alert to the tags if possible. Okay. So those are 4 core runs in this sub package. We're now going to segue to 3 passes. Okay. The first pass is going to be power pass. The second pass is going to be waggle. And the third pass is just going to be a simple slant combination. Okay. So power pass. Okay. For us, this is a day 1 install. Okay. All right. Blocking rules up front. Our backside tackle, backside guard, and center are responsible for sliding. Okay. Our play side guard and play side tackle, they're responsible for bob. Okay. They're going to block whoever's over them. Okay. Our T, he is responsible for attacking the play side flats and getting wide. Okay. Our Y, he is off the line of scrimmage, but he is responsible for attacking the defense vertically, okay, for 10 yards and breaking it off. Okay. Now there is some flexibility on his route due to the landmark. Okay. But the ultimate goal here is to push vertical and get behind the flat defender. Okay. The Z, outside receiver, he's responsible for running a fade. We coach our Z's to line up on the top of the numbers. Okay. And when he runs his fade, his goal is to own his line and stay on the numbers. Okay. Don't get wider than the bottom of the numbers. Okay. When the quarterback throws to you, you're responsible for letting the ball fade you. Okay. On the H, he is responsible for faking the call run. And in this picture here is power. Okay, he's responsible for faking his call run. And once he fakes, his eyes are on backers. So inside backer to outside backer. And if no one releases for him or no one blitzes, he can check it down. Okay. Backside receiver. Okay, his rule is to run a post. Okay. This throw is hardly ever there unless a coach communicates from the sideline that it's available. Our quarterback knows that he is not to throw that. Okay. Passing progression. Okay, so after the quarterback meshes with the H, passing progression is vertical to 10-yard out to flat. Okay, if the quarterback is under center, he is to reverse out. Okay, fake to the H, set up, and again, his progression is the same. Okay, fade, deep out, flat. Okay, if blitz comes, the quarterback knows he can throw it hot to the T. Okay. All right. Run fake number 2. Okay. Or pass fake number 2. Waggle. Okay. So this right here is a weak side passing concept. Okay. Backside tackle, backside guard, center, play side guard, and play side tackle. They're going to slide away from the call. Okay. I've seen it multiple ways. I've seen, some coaches bob and half slide, and some coaches reach, but for us, it just looked better when we slide away from the call. Okay. Our T is responsible for releasing to the opposite flats, but this is a key component of this play. Our T must chip the end man on the line of scrimmage before he releases to the flats, because anyone that knows defensive football knows that as soon as this end man sees run away, okay, he is screaming hard and tight. And if the quarterback redirects, he will be the first one to get in on the action. So we really coach our T's to attack to the opposite flat, bang on his way out, and get to the flats in a hurry. Okay. The Y, he's responsible for the over route. Okay. The X, he is responsible for running a 15 to 12 drop out. Some coaches like a banana route or a comeback. Okay. Whatever works for you, that is okay. And the backside receiver, okay, he's going to run a post. Okay. In this diagram here, our quarterback is going to fake toss and boot away. Okay. And the H is responsible for pulling a defender. Okay. You can connect a run. Okay. You can connect the inside run to this fake, but for more width, okay, ideally, our quarterback likes it better off a toss. So that's the direction that we go. Okay. The progression here out of the roll is the drop out to the over route to the flat. Okay. This post is never open unless we let our quarterback know that it's open. Okay. If heat is in his face, he knows that he can throw to the flat immediately. Okay. All right. And our third pass is slant. Okay. So passing protection, half man, half man, half man, as in slide. Okay. Play side guard and play side tackle. They're bob. Okay. Route combinations. Okay. So outside receivers, 3-step slants. Okay. Our H, okay, he has a arrow route away. Okay. Our Y, he is running a OTB. Okay. And we played around with this. Okay. But after playing around with this, we decided to have our Y to run OTB, which stands for over the ball, and that helped with the spacing. Okay. And then the T, who is the third receiver on the concept side, is going to run a flat. Okay. Quarterback's progression to the left side, he can throw slant to the flat. Okay. And the quarterback progression on the right side is OTB to slant to flat. Okay. If blitz comes, the quarterback can throw either slant or either flat or the OTB. Okay. We get a lot of mileage out of this combination. Okay. So I have a few clips from this sub package. This first play is a toss sweep. Okay. What we decided to do here, we decided to cut our alignment because our goal was to get the ball wide as possible. And again, we have lined our quarterback up in pistol. We've also lined him up from under center, and the timing of the play does not change at all. Okay. All right. So this play right here is toss. Okay. Again, our H did a good job of getting to the perimeter. Okay. Our tackle on his line and peeled off a backer. Our H off the edge took care of the end man on line of scrimmage. And our T did a good job of helping and finding work. Okay. Our outside receiver also did a good job of stall blocking and fighting for his teammate. And our running back found the alley and handled the rest. Okay. All right. Clip 2. We have ISO. Okay. All right. Actually, this is duo for us. Okay. All right. Our H is responsible for kicking out the end man on line of scrimmage. Okay. We have 2 linemen that are going to combo up. Okay. The T is a bonus player, and the H is going to follow the T. Okay. After our quarterback hands the ball off, he's going to boot away. Okay. Again, good knock up front. This is a 3rd and 4 situation. Our H pressed the hole. We got good knock up front. Nice physical pickup. Okay. All right. Play number 3. We are going to run left. Okay. We're running ISO left. And again, there's a lot of bodies here. This is the 3rd and short situation. Okay. We have our H, our Y, who's leading up, finding work. We have our T, who's following. And then we have our H, that is receiving the ball deep as possible. Okay. Offensive line is firing off the ball, a half for a hat. Okay. Our T does a good job of pressing the hole. And again, it's muddy. It is very muddy. Okay. But our T does a good job of staying in bounds, running physical. Okay. All right. This next play here, it's toss. Okay. This picture here, we asked our receiver to push crack, most dangerous. Okay. Our Y and our T got Y to leave for the H. And our H did a good job of running through the smoke. Offensive line is firing off the ball. Play top tackle did a great job of reaching. And our H helped us out a lot on that play. Okay. All right. This is our power pass concept. Okay. So remember, for us, power pass, we have a vertical. Okay. We have a intermediate route. Then we have a flat. Okay. Our H is responsible for faking. Okay. And our backside receiver is responsible for occupying this grass. And up front, offensive lineman is responsible for pass protecting. Okay. All right. So quarterback, he felt heat. So he wanted to get the ball out a little bit quicker. Okay. He ended up throwing to his second progression. Okay. His first progression is the vertical. He ended up throwing it to the Y. Nice connection. Okay. Good protection up front. Check it out. Good reception. Okay. All right. Play got cut off, but this is waggle. Okay. So the quarterback's going to fake toss to the left and boot away. Okay. He ended up getting the ball to one of our better athletes, our T. Our T did a good job of getting to the perimeter. Okay. Can we teach our quarterbacks to get as deep as possible on these rolls and get the ball to our playmakers? Okay. All right. This play right here is power pass. Again, we're backed up. Okay. We're going to have an intermediate, a flat, fake. Quarterback is backed up. Okay. He had his intermediate route open, but wanted to get it out to the flats. Good athletic catch by the T. Positive yards. Good protection up front. Okay. And then we have slant. Okay. That's a good route by the receiver. 3-step slant. Quarterback saw the hole. Good connection. Okay. All right. Okay, so just a quick recap. Again, this I formation is a sub package to our offense. It was taught to me from my high school coach, Coach Miller, and I've used it ever since. The I formation, I personally think is a great formation. The quarterback can line up under center or in pistol. It just depends on what you want to do offensively. Okay. But the core runs that we touched on today included old school power O, old school counter, old school ISO, old school toss. Okay. Do you need all 4 plays? Probably not, but it is okay if you do install all 4. Okay. Passing passing game. Power pass, that's a play side flood. Waggle is a weak side flood, and old school slant. Okay. All right. So this right here is my contact information. So if anyone have any questions about anything about this presentation or anything else, feel free to scan the QR code and it will take you directly to my site. Okay. Thank you for your time. Again, I'm Coach Simmons, Coach Brandon Simmons, the offensive coordinator at Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School in Raleigh, North Carolina. Thank you for all you do, coaches.